For 2 generations, the ruthless ambition of this man, Napoleon Bonaparte, dominated the lives of every Briton as the country found itself at the epicenter of a world war. Every day from 1793 to 1815, while more than 300,000 British men were killed and countless more maimed, the effects of that war were felt in homes, fields and factories. By the war's end, Britain and the British people had been changed forever. Some families amassed fortunes, and others fell into poverty. New industries were born, and age-old traditions destroyed. Radical ideas had seized the imagination, but reactionary forces fought desperately to preserve the status quo. Reform was in the air as the old collided with the new. Now, Jenny Uglow, the popular social historian and author, vividly brings this time to life. Through her meticulously researched stories of the families that lived through this world war, we learn how this conflict shaped Britain for more than a century.
Every single corner of Britain, every village, every hundred, has to produce men. So the whole nation are involved. More people proportionately are killed than in the First World War, and yet we don't think about it. My book follows about 20 or 30 people and families all the way through the war, and it touches every corner of their lives. It's about the bankers, and it's about the farmers, and the farmers changing over their crops, their closures and so on. It's about the weavers and the wool industry, and then it moves on to the problems later of the Luddites and workers' protests. From gun making to making cheese in a cottage, and to love affairs and to children going abroad and so on. Just what it actually felt like to live through that long 20 years of war. Who got rich, who lost out, how it changed. It's a forcing house. It really forces all sorts of things. It forces the Industrial Revolution forward extremely fast because you have to make cannon and things like that. It forces the birth of empire because you take the Cape of Good Hope and the West Indies, India, out to Australia. It forces religious movements and evangelicalism, and with it go things like the end of slavery, but then with it also come a great missionary movement. So to my delight and astonishment, it has turned out to be a great adventure and very moving, often very funny, but very moving too.
You can hear Jenny Uglow describe Britain and the region during this fascinating time at a special History West Midlands ticket-only event in Birmingham on Thursday the 30th of October. At the end of the evening, Jenny will be signing copies of her new book, In These Times, Living in Britain Through the Napoleonic Wars. Places are limited, so book your ticket now at the History West Midlands website.